Gardener, as well as Kevin Gath of Garden Nomads. More gardening talk coming your way. About Your House is brought to you in part by PutToolsInSchools.org, connecting students to tools of the trades and raising awareness of the many career pathways. About Your House is also brought to you in part by Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store is a family-owned store that's been serving the Carolinas for over 70 years. They're the largest independent appliance retailer in the Carolinas, constantly growing and taking pride in the experience they offer customers with a knowledgeable sales staff, product selection, and lowest price guarantee. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with us. And now, here's your host, Ray Terry.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, About Your House, every Saturday on Fox Sports Charlotte, 9 to 11. Download the free app. You can stream it live anywhere on the planet. And soon to be have a line to call in, a call-in line. Next week, we'll have a call-in line effective, and you can call in and ask questions here on the show about your house. Today's show, I've got Kevin Gath, Lorraine Carpenter talking gardening. We got a 30-year-old and a 70-plus-year-old lady here, including myself. It's a 70-plus. Interesting concept, old and the new. There you go. And real quick, Kevin, have you ever worked with a group of kids about gardening?
Only my siblings.
How many siblings you got?
3.
3?
Yep. And my sister is 10 this year, so she's really getting into it now.
We need to teach our kids more about gardening because, one, they don't know. Well, for example, a lot of people think, to garden, you just dig a hole in the soil, plant a seed, water it, and it grows. It don't work that way, does it?
Sometimes.
It can if you have good soil, if you've put time into your soil.
Then
you can basically plant anything anywhere.
But I said you just dig a hole, put a seed in
clay.
Typically in clay, that won't work, right?
No.
I mean, it'll work, but it's a maybe
Won't thrive,
situation. So it's all depending on your dirt. And there's companion planting, there's insect control. Talking about insect control, can we do anything about that in our gardening?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Throw it at me.
Basically, the idea is to have predators. If the answer to a pest problem is not poison, it's a predator.
Oh.
They will naturally balance each other's populations. I heard...
Are you telling me he did it again? God did it again?
He did it again.
He did it again. He put balance in
provided.
life. How about that?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep, it is true. I've heard that the answer to aphids is to have aphids all year, because then you'll have aphid predators all year. And so when the aphid population booms in the spring, those predator populations will quickly follow it. They're already there.
And you know who loves aphids? Ladybugs.
Yep.
And you can go buy ladybugs to eat the aphids.
You can. You have to make sure
If
that
you
it's
have
the native
aphids.
species.
Yeah. The native.
Yeah.
So what you're saying about insects is balance them. How do you do that?
You give them food and shelter. You give them shelter, basically. The pests, the food are already there. You just give them shelter. The best
Wait a
way.
minute. So you're saying the pests are there that get in the way, but you need to provide them shelter so they can live happily in harmony.
The predators and the pests live in the very same environs. Yep.
So you have to balance. Well, see, this is a new concept. Not new, but it's one that we haven't discussed much. So you can literally set the stage for balance and control with insects.
Management.
Well,
Control.
that's
Control is
management.
more of a chemical-ish process. Management is really the key to a low maintenance system.
Management.
A subtle but distinct difference. Yep.
But you've got to have that knowledge. That's what you're here for. Tell them how to do that.
Yep, nature has shown the way. You disturb as little as possible, but not too little. The edges, we let the grass grow tall on the edges, and now the fireflies will live in the grass, and the fireflies are predators themselves.
Leaves.
Yep. Leaves, absolutely.
People, bag them all up and get them out of the yard.
That's habitat.
That's how leaves, can
So
habitate.
leave the leaves alone.
100%.
In at least a little area so the fireflies.
Well, that goes with what I've thought for years. We're too clean. We've become very sanitary.
Yes.
As a culture, which is it's actually doing more harm than it is good.
Yes, it is.
Because there's nothing wrong with eating a little dirt every now and then.
That's right.
And now, I don't mean that literally, but then again, I kind of do too.
May I share a story about eating some
please
dirt?
do, my dear.
All right. I worked on a Johnson & Johnson program that for people with rheumatoid arthritis. And it's autoimmune, right? And a scientist
absolutely.
comes and talks with us about it. Very smart lady. She said, "Do y'all have any questions?" I said, "Yeah. Why is our body attacking itself?" That's what autoimmune does. She said, "Honestly, America's too clean." She said, "We do not endorse this, but we knew a man," because men, only 3% of the population got rheumatoid arthritis, probably because men don't do as much cleaning. They're not as sanitized.
No, you're right.
Destroying these microbes,
And
bacteria.
you grew up with a plumber.
I know. I could say something. I'm not going to say anything about it. I got crap all over me.
There you go.
But anyway, she said we had a man who got rheumatoid arthritis, which was rare. He went out and got a jar of dirt and worms and ate it and cured himself because he restored his microbiome. And she said, that's what we're doing. And immediately I remembered how I used to make sauerkraut and kimchi. Mm-hmm. I started doing it again because that's our bacteria flora.
Mm-hmm. We have actually become way too sanitary, way too conscious about germs. Yep. Now, can germs kill you? Can bacteria kill you? Absolutely. They're very harmful, but they're also very
can be managed.
Beneficial in our lives.
Yes.
And we need to think about that. Growing up, I used to, you hear about kids eating dirt. Nothing wrong with a little bit of dirt. Mm-hmm. You eat dirt?
Oh, yeah. Often.
Gotta eat dirt.
Often.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but it's on stuff.
Yeah. And I bring this up because, well, we're too over conscious about being clean. I've seen it for years.
Sanitizer.
When COVID hit, everybody wanted to be sanitary. Well, like that hand sanitizer is detrimental to your health.
Agreed.
Once you wipe out the microbiome that's already on your skin, something else is going to colonize it. So, but you have no idea what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's just crazy what we become. I got a germaphobe here in the house that he
residential #1 germaphobe. Actually, I won the award.
Yeah, he got a trophy even. And I bring this up not to pick on Richton, but that's some people are germaphobes. They've been raised to be very.
Mine's more OCD, out of control germophobia. Say what you will, but
no, but you own it. It's okay. But
just saying that's where mine comes from.
And therefore, what are we going to do about it? Learn better living situations, and don't be so cognizant of the germs. Be aware of how beneficial they can be and what we're living in, because we're out of control. Chemicals. You been to the store lately and go to the cleansing aisle, to the cleaner, where all the those are harmful, toxic chemicals that you're buying put in your house.
Spraying right in front of your face so that you can breathe it all in.
Yeah. But that's okay. No, it's not okay.
Like Windex.
It's called being a cash cow.
A lot of it's been banned in Europe, scrubbing bubbles and stuff like that. Yeah.
And all the fragrances and stuff. Even candles are bad.
Oh my God, they are.
It's everywhere.
Now, what's this got to do with gardening? Everything. Everything. All these chemicals you're putting in your garden.
Yes.
Oh, another one. Miracle Grow. Miracle Grow dirt. You're kidding me. You use Miracle Grow dirt? Of course he doesn't. How about you, Lorraine?
I don't want anything in it that's going to produce something fast. Yeah.
See, they even box and bag your chemicals in your dirt if you want it. They'll take care of it for you. You pay a lot more money for it, and then you don't know what they put in that dirt.
And it's also not nutritive. If you're only putting chemical fertilizer in, now the plants only have the chemicals that are in that fertilizer instead of all the things that the soil food web makes, all the micronutrients and everything.
And worms. Earthworms. You gotta have earthworms. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I mentioned that berm I built or made. I didn't build it. I just did I mixed all the dirt together and let it do its thing. It's talking about putting nitrogen in there to speed up the decomposition. Mm-hmm. You could not go out there in that area of my yard and dig a shovel full of dirt up, turn it over. Wouldn't be a plethora of earthworms in it.
Love them.
Which is indicative of good dirt.
Yes.
If you got worms, you got good dirt.
Yes, you do.
Right.
It's living.
Right.
It's living.
Go ahead and grab your little bitty worm, just eat that baby. Yeah. I know people are saying, "Oh, you're kidding me." Yeah, I am.
I have heard that
I don't eat earthworms.
there are as many species of microbes in a worm's gut as there are in ours.
Wow.
And they spread it all around the
I know
soil.
Charles Darwin. He studied worms for 29 years.
Who?
He said, Charles Darwin, the
okay.
evolutionist,
I think
he
I've heard
said
of him.
they are the greatest creature other than mankind ever created. Because there's a bacteria and they're...
Darwinism.
I raised red wiggler
Oh, yeah.
worms that you don't put out in the ground, right? And State University studied the poop, the castings.
Right, castings. Worm
There were
castings.
pages, and one of them was like it can biofilter toxins in your soil. Like if somebody threw like oil in my garden, because I have worm poop in the soil, it can biofilter it, clean it, put it back into the soil, and not hurt the tomato plant.
Did it again.
What?
There's God
There's
at work,
God.
giving us everything we need right
That's
there.
it.
You can't
Can't beat his system.
you can't beat natural nature. Nature doing its thing. It's all there for us.
That's right.
All you've got to do is learn how to use it and not abuse it. But all this miracle grow soil, preconditioned soil, not the way to go.
What's good soil to use if you were to get some?
As far as potting soil goes,
Yeah.
I like a mix of hardwood fines, leaf compost, and pine fines. That's a good textural balance, good nutrient mix. Yeah. And then you can adjust the ratio depending on whether your plant wants to be more dry or more wet, the balance of those ingredients.
Now, watering. Does good dirt holds water the way it should, too, correct? Isn't that right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you make your dirt, you amend it.
Yeah.
You can take clay, which is pretty prevalent to the Charlotte,
Southeast.
what's that, Southeast in general. Every now and then you get a little bull tile in there, but for the most part it's red clay. And you amend it. You
Right.
make your own soil out of that.
Great soil.
Depends on your goals, but yes.
Well, speak in reference to what?
So like a prairie grassland type doesn't want fertility. The fertility in that setting would feed trees and the weeds, whereas the prairie grassland type community has evolved to thrive on that lean clay soil.
Right.
Makes
Gotcha.
sense. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Does.
In a garden setting, like a food garden setting, definitely you want well drained, good organic matter, not compacted.
Loose.
Yeah.
Loamy.
Drainage. Yeah.
But still aggregated, chunky, but not because if it's too fine, that will compact very quickly. That's
Right,
part of the reason
like
why you
sand.
don't till. Yeah. So you want a little bit of chunks. They call it aggregates. The microbes, the bacteria and the fungi will make micro aggregates by binding soil particles together, and then the worms and such will bind those into macro aggregates. Like a jar filled with sand, rocks, and gravel, that's the aggregation you want. You want the rocks instead of sand in the jar. So there's space for the water to flow through, and then the air follows that water.
Did you get all that?
I can tell he worked at a new nuclear power plant.
That's what you learned in the
You can
Navy.
smell the nuclear on them.
Yeah.
That is where I learned how to learn, though, for sure.
Yeah.
It was foundational for sure.
Wait a minute. That's where you learned what?
How to learn. Their training program is excellent.
Wow.
There's a repetition about it, and it's very good. It's very good.
Cool. All right, I can't have a gardening show without talking about water gardens. You like water gardens?
Yeah. I
You
have a
like
couple.
water gardens?
I love the dragonflies that come to it.
See, there's
Yeah.
another way to balance your ecosystem.
There you go.
Would you agree with that?
Having the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Having water in a garden. I love water gardens. Now, what? Tell me y'all's definition of a water garden.
You know, I think of like the type you put koi fish in and plants. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, that's one version, that's
Okay.
for sure. A koi pond, an ornamental pond. Well, that's a water garden, right? Then you buy vegetation and plants that are conducive to growing in and around water, right?
Yeah.
And those plants also can balance the ecosystem, and we've talked about the insects and that situation. And the number one thing that's an indicator of good water garden environment are frogs. If you've got an abundant population of frogs,
yeah, we
pretty
don't.
indicative of a
We
good
don't have
balance.
as many.
What's
We
that?
don't have as many anymore.
That's because of what we're talking
Chemicals,
about.
yeah.
Chemicals. We live in a very toxic
Turtles.
environment. And one of the reasons I brought this show to the forefront today is to talk about how critical it is to think about the toxins that you're using. And we live in a commercial, capitalistic, money-grabbing society that wants your money. None of this has to be expensive. Am I right?
You're right.
Growing a garden can be very minimal, but what you tend to do from a ignorant point of view is you go out one Saturday morning to Pike's Nursery, just to mention one. You can go to the big box stores and you buy all this pre-fertilized soil and these containers, and you go back home and plant you a flower or plant you a vegetable or something, and all this pre-packaged soil.
It's just an exercise in consumerism.
Jerry, exercise in consumerism. Money, money, money.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about here today is, how do you garden on a budget? You got a shovel? You got a little topsoil? You got some leaves? Compost? Now, what's compost? It's real cheap. If you go to Mecklenburg County recycling centers, they've got a compost sip. They'll load your pickup truck with this looks like topsoil, but it's not topsoil. That's another misnomer they tell you at the landfill. You're buying topsoil. That's not really topsoil. What
You're
is?
buying duff. You're buying the surface, the organic matter layer.
You're buying just the organic matter. And the downside to that is it 100% safe? No. Because it's got environmental waste in it, right?
I think so. I mean, I don't see how it wouldn't.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Matter of fact, after Hugo came through here back in '89, was it?
Yeah, it was 89.
Hey, I hit it right.
Yeah, man.
They built these massive piles of compost, yard debris. Massive. You weren't around then. And they would, that's where I learned all about composting and what happens in this, because you go by there on any day and steam would be rising off these big mounds. And that's the decomposition going on right there in front of your face. But that to me was some good topsoil back then. But now now it's not the same because it doesn't sit as long. But that's a good, cheap, effective way of amending your soil.
It's about half the price you'll find around elsewhere, and they'll give it away free sometimes.
They give it away free?
Sometimes. Usually, I think right before they start accepting a bunch of new waste, so early spring, maybe late fall.
Gotcha.
The other thing that's concerning, a lot of these places, like I forget the name of the place that you can get truckloads and horse manure, composted, but cow manure. But look what these cows are eating.
Mm-hmm. The horse manure especially is so full of wormicides that you
don't want to use it.
Yeah, you wipe out your whole worm population by
Exactly.
spreading a load of horse manure.
Yeah,
Horse manure's got what in it?
Full of wormicides. They pump horses full of medicines.
Then they eat the straw that's sprayed with Roundup. You can't even. I seek out people who raise their own chickens and compost their chicken manure. I just.
Roundup just needs to be banned altogether.
Oh, it's awful.
Pure toxic.
There is some byproduct of Roundup that's important in the weapons industry. That's why it's a matter. That's why it's not critical for defense. So we're poisoning ourselves just so we can make the bomb ingredient. I mean,
Just
Yeah.
what we all wanted, the taxpayers.
Glyphosate. I've been preaching it for 15, 14, ever since I've been on the radio. The past 20 years, I have told everybody. And then when I first started, it was not well known that glyphosate was as harmful as it is, but I've known it for a long time. And then you got people, mostly men, that do their yard work, that go out and spray Roundup.
They're still doing commercials for us all the other
Yeah,
night watching NBA
still doing
game.
commercial. People, we are some screwed up people allowing these toxins to be put in our food chain.
the 14th class action lawsuit later. I mean,
It's
Just keeps
psychotic.
happening.
It's psychotic. I mean, it's really insanity. It really is.
Roundup
Yeah.
is a cancerous carcinogen. Call it what you
Proven,
want. It's
proven.
harmful.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very harmful
Yeah.
to all inhabitants of this planet. And they banned it in Europe. Can't use it in Europe, but they use it in
They
the United
banned a lot of
States.
things in Europe.
Oh,
Artificial dyes that are
Yeah.
terrible. Don't get me started.
But here we're spraying Roundup on our yards so they'll be pretty. It's pretty. It kills my weeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
kills
about
my-
these
Kills you,
mosquito
too.
companies too that say, "Oh, it doesn't hurt bees"? How do you know?
It hurts everything.
Yeah.
It's
poison in
environment.
the air. How can
I
it
know.
not?
I know. I've got
nuts.
6 beehives that a guy manages. Were you there? I don't think you were there that day. I call him the bee daddy, but I came out of my carport.
You got you a bee daddy.
I got me a bee daddy.
Ain't you some?
I got me a chick mom and a bee daddy.
Cool. So
Anyway,
you raising? So you do?
I've got
You got beehives.
I've got beehives. I don't manage them. I got bee daddy who does that. I grow all the stuff for them. But I came out on my carport and there were like 6 or 7 dead. And I called him, and he was like, "Did you see him swarming around your light last night?" And I went, "Not really." And I'd had it's a sensor light, and I had purposely had it come on
Sure.
because I had things to do. And so I told him, I said, "You know what? I wasn't out here. Maybe they were." Well, anyway, he was afraid there had been pesticide damage. So he came over to check the hives to see, but there wasn't. And he determined they were zombie bees. He said they can't explain what these zombie bees are. Probably they've been affected by pesticides, but they go up to a light and they just swarm until it kills them. Yeah.
I'll be darned. Well, the bottom line here is we're living in a very toxic world, and I'm just going to bring the word up: chemtrails. Chemtrails. Look up in the sky. You see those clouds. Most of those clouds, typically on any given day, are not natural clouds. They're man-made clouds with spray, chemical spray,
Geoengineered.
geoengineering, weather modification.
Yeah.
I go on and on and on. All this is happening in our environment, folks. So only in America, we live in a very money-grabbing culture to where they're just, I don't say destroying, but they're harming our environment, they're harming our food, and we just seem to be going our merry way and ignoring it. Well, the fact of the matter is the acknowledgement of these things are coming to the forefront, and things are being done about it. I hope. At least that's what they say. We'll see. Let me take a minute and talk about our sponsors. Garage Door Doctor. Garage Door Doctor. New sponsor. Glad to have them on board. A garage door company that will give you everything you need around your garage door. And Charlotte's become a mecca for garage doors. You know, when I say mecca, when I grew up in Charlotte, garage doors were hardly ever seen. They didn't build houses with many garages. Well, that has changed. Between apartments, commercial, residential, garage doors are everywhere you look. Garage doors, insulated doors, doors with windows, doors with literally no metal mechanicisms, mostly nylon. Whatever you need, they provide it. Garage Door Doctor. They're same-day services available, fully stocked trucks for whatever you may need to your garage door. So give them a call, 704-705-8444. Online, garagedoordoctor.com. Give them a shout. They're a great company, great Google reviews, super. Purchased back almost 20 years ago now, and controlled by a new owner, doing great things, great professionalism. All service techs are trained, certified, so give them a call, 704-705-8444. That's garagedoordoctor.com. And then let's not forget Rhino Foundation Lift. Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions. Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions. Relatively new company. Within the past 10 years, come to Charlotte. 2 college boys right out of college. One of them worked his way through college with general contracting and foundation repair company. Said when he gets out of college, he's going to open his own business. His buddy grew up with Alex, the CPA a degree guy, got out and handled the books. Josh handled the contracting side of it. Now we have a full service Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions. Go online, rhinoliftfoundations.com, and give them a call from there. Set your appointment right online. Have a professional come out to your house, diagnose, assess your situation, and let you make educated decisions on what best fits your budget and solutions. Financing available. That's Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions. And let's don't forget Kilo Exterminating. You know, just this week alone, I was called by somebody, and they said they had a water leak in their shower, and it was discovered by the pest control company that came out and did an inspection. If you don't have your crawl space inspected, how do you know you've got a good crawl space in great shape without any intrusive or invasive water? I highly recommend getting an inspection done at least every year or two. I don't care where you live, how old your house is, doesn't matter. Have your crawl space inspected. And Kilo Exterminating, 3 generations since 1939. All technicians certified. You can get your own technician. Just question them, and just that way you can call them if you've got invasive. Well, we're entering the seasons, as I mentioned earlier. Roaches. And roaches don't come from filth, always trees. Trim those trees, but educate yourself. Kilo.biz, check them out. Today's show, we're talking gardening with Kevin Gath, Lorraine Carpenter, and we're talking about bugs and everything you want to talk about gardening. But you got to have insects for control. Insects, bugs, frogs, lizards, wildlife, they're all indicative of health and wellness in a landscape. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely. Kevin? And the higher the food chain, the higher on the food chain it is, the more healthy the landscape.
Now, what do you mean by higher on the food chain?
An apex predator needs all of the trophic levels below it to survive. And so if you have an apex predator...
You know too many big words, man. You just spin that big word.
Give me a dictionary.
So herbivores, right? The carnivore, you can't have carnivores without herbivores.
Right.
So if you have carnivores, that means you have herbivores.
Right.
And if you have herbivores, it means you have plants.
Herbivores eat plants.
Yes.
Carnivores eat meat.
Yes.
Just...
Give me an example of a carnivore in a
like
garden.
a hawk. Like a hawk.
Oh,
if you have a hawk, it means you have frogs and snakes and mice.
I was thinking like the insect, yeah.
But same idea. A ladybug is a predator. If you don't have any of the lower level insects, you won't have the ladybugs either. So if you have ladybugs, it means you have some.
Thank you. Yeah.
So ladybugs are indicative of something else going on that you need to be aware of.
There is prey there for them to eat, at least. You have a solid food web.
Right. Yeah.
So see how insects are beneficial to gardening? You've got to have the balance.
Yeah.
Birds,
I have snakes and not snakes, but spiders, jumping spiders, and praying mantises, and ladybugs, and lacewings, assassin bugs, fireflies. And I have no pests problems,
birds.
No pest problems. I have a bunch of birds too.
You got all these insects, and I bring all this up today around gardening because a lot of people will be concerned about the insects. Go out and buy some insect control chemicals and start spraying. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? This is why we're talking about this stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't go kill your insects because insects are a balancing act in a garden, in natural environmental situations.
Yep. One story I've heard is that spraying the insecticide is just causing anarchy, and what comes first after anarchy is destruction. And so you kill everything. It's the gangsters and thugs that come back first.
Right. Now let's talk about insects that are damaging. You know, like you go out and you see something on your plant, your vegetable plant. What do you do about that?
Research it. Usually, for the first time I ever had like Colorado beetle. I'd never seen it before. And at first I was like, what? I went, wait a minute, Lorraine, this is a good challenge to learn, one, how to prevent it, two, just learn something different, and it hibernates in the soil. And because I do a lot of leafing and I can't avoid it. But you can plant daikon radish and they hate it and they won't go in that area of your garden. So that's what I try to do is I try to learn a way to prevent it or add to the, whole
Well,
gardening.
typically people in gardening and your yard upkeep will use a lot of chemicals to control everything we're talking about. As far as invasive insects and bugs and various things. And nature has a way of healing everything. The problem is we live in a fearful world where everybody's afraid and they get reactive and they come out with all the chemicals, and it's like snakes. Why are people, I know I sound crazy when I say this, but why are people so afraid of snakes? When snakes
because they don't know how to identify them. Probably
snakes themselves are a balance like a king snake. A good king snake on your property is a good thing to have.
Yeah.
We'll happily eat copperheads, full-grown copperheads.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yet you're going to go out. I don't care if it's a snake. It ain't going to be in my yard. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, people are afraid of snakes. I get it. I really do. Snakes are, but they will not hurt you typically. And there are no water moccasins in this area at all. Did you know that?
Mm-mm. I didn't know that.
Water moccasins do not live in Charlotte-Mecklenburg Metro. Nope. You won't see copperheads. You won't see water moccasins till you get down in South Carolina, a ways, but not in Charlotte-Mecklenburg.
Mm-mm.
What people commonly think is a water moccasin is a water snake. They'll see a water snake, and water snakes typically will look like copperheads. Somewhat. Not identical, but they look somewhat like a copperhead. And they'll go get the hoe and start killing the snake. I bring these up because people are, there's not a year that goes by that I don't get a phone call about a black snake in their attic. Or I saw a black snake in the crawl space. It's crazy how fearful we are of snakes. But it's good to have some snakes around.
And I've heard a story about how rattlesnakes are starting to evolve to not rattle. So we're by reacting out of fear, we're making them even more dangerous because you kill the ones that warn you. The people will hear the rattlesnake and they kill it, but that's the one that was telling you to stay away. And so it's the ones that don't rattle that live, and you're going to step on it and bite you.
Yep.
We don't have rattlesnakes in Charlotte,
No,
right?
but just as an example but it's the same idea.
You were going to say they had migrated here.
The unintended effects are
Yeah.
You can never see. I mean, there's this, maybe off topic, but there's this snakes in India, the cobras,
Yeah.
and there was a bounty on cobras because it had too many. People started breeding the cobras, obviously, because if you get $1 per.
Yeah.
And then the government stopped that program, and everyone just released their cobras because now you're not going to keep a cobra for free. So they ended up with more afterward than before. It's you've got to think through the second and third order effects of things, and nature already has done that.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's amazing the reaction people get. And Charlotte has copperheads. A lot of copperheads. Providence Plantation is a mecca for copperheads. And I bring that up.
Really?
Providence Plantation, out across the street from Rain Tree, the Arboretum area. That area is known. I have known about that area being a copperhead haven for years because of, well, I did a lot of remodeling and home repair out there, and there wasn't many houses I would go to that they said they hadn't seen a copperhead. One lady, she said, well, let me go see how many copperheads I can kill this morning. She walked out, and not 5 minutes later, she said, yep, there he is. She found one within 5 minutes. So, we've got air. And, I'm not sitting here telling you don't kill your copperheads. No, that's not what I'm saying. Absolutely. Yeah. They're poisonous. They are harmful. They'll kill you. However, just beware. All snakes aren't copperheads.
Yeah.
You ever seen a copperhead?
Yeah.
In a garden?
They're pretty.
How about you?
Not in a garden myself, only on a stream bank, but.
Yeah.
Right. You found it on a stream bank?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You've never run up on a copperhead on a job anywhere? That's amazing.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, and that just goes to show you they're not as abundant as you might think they are.
Not at all.
And one other thing I want to caution you on as far as snakes go in this time of the year, you want to remove all your wood piles. If you've got wood piles around the house, get rid of them. Get rid of anything that a snake could live in or around.
Yeah, I've heard
Right?
of the bags
Move
of
it off to the
leaves
edges.
that you pick up. Yeah. There could be snakes in them.
Lots of shelter, but on the flip side of that, that's where your king snakes will hide as well. So it's sort of
Balance. Okay.
balance. I would put the wood piles off to the edges, for example. Like the dead brush piles are one of the best habitats for birds, and the soil life underneath a brush pile, you'll have beautiful soil a year later underneath a brush pile.
Oh yeah. Like a forest. Yeah.
Yep.
But it's about having it in its place, not up against the house where it's probably going to come in, but often on the edge where it can have its wild area.
Right. Well, we were talking. What are things that people need to know and consider about gardening? Any biggies?
I would think, honestly, it's more diversity. If people have weed problems, it's because they have bare ground. So just put plants that you want there.
Cover crop.
And the weeds don't have a job to fill.
So plant something so the weeds won't grow.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
The earth doesn't like to be alone.
Nope.
What about, do you like ornamental planting?
I do.
I mean, decorative.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite bush?
Well, blueberry.
Do you have a favorite
It's blueberry.
bush?
I got really interested more in native plants some time ago, and so someone had that cardoon, C-A-R-D-O-O, beautiful purple thistle, and I wouldn't plant it because it wasn't native. Well, the other day I found some seeds I had gotten, and I think the balance, I mean, yes, native is good, but you can have some, I think 70-80% native is going to it's going to take care of the ones you grow. The really scary ones are that rose, I forget the name of
Multiflora
it.
rose.
Yeah. Birds will go in it and put a nest, and then she can't get the babies out because of the thorns.
That's not good.
Well, at first I was kind of like, native, what's the purpose? And then when you realize that the Bradford pear is destroying the dogwood because it's taking more water, anything not native is going to take more to survive. And that's when I started really getting more serious about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also the caterpillars can't eat the leaves. And so
Exactly.
if there's
the insects
no use.
don't have a habitat because they have to have a food source.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was easy.
No. But it's
It can
important.
be easy. It can be easy because nature has already shown you exactly what to do. It's just model what nature does, and the plants do all the work.
They really do.
Well, I agree with you 100%, Kevin, and you're right. But, we're not teaching it. That's the issue. You've learned it because of your passion for it. That's why you're here. Lorraine, same thing. You have a passion for, planting and gardening. And you learn the hacks, the hacks involved, like companion planting. Mm-hmm. There's ways to control insects with companion planting, right? Mm-hmm. And these are techniques and methodologies that most people aren't aware of until they're into it.
Right.
And that's why we have these shows, to make people, if you don't understand what we're saying, maybe you'll understand some of the terms we use, like companion planting. What does that mean? companion planting. And what I talked about, what's a beautiful shrub, and you brought up blueberry. It's one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an ornamental shrub, right?
It works well as an ornamental shrub, yeah. I mean, it's a native edible powerhouse, but it can be used as an ornamental shrub. Even though it's an edible plant, it can be used as an ornamental.
Right.
Same as a fig tree. Fig tree has beautiful, lovely
fig
shape.
tree. I had a big old fig tree that was ornamental.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fig eater, but
Guys, healthy. The leaves, actually. Have you ever heard about making a tea from the leaves?
Interesting.
Helps people with diabetes.
Huh. Helps moderate your blood sugar or something?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
fig leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And passion flower tea is one of the best. It's one of the
yes.
most common in Europe, and it's like a sleep.
I have it all over.
Oh, yeah?
If you plant one, they will come.
Yeah, definitely.
But the fruit, and the flower and the leaves and the stem, it is highly beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's called passion flower.
Passion flower.
And you know why it's
Maypops.
called passion flower?
What?
Have you ever looked at the flower inside? It looks like a crucifixion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I use that flower to teach, or I have, the plant, the anatomy of a flower, because all the parts are, it's
that's
very
good
easy to
know.
show.
Yeah.
Yep.
The stamen and,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah. It's
Any other good plants to recommend for?
elderberry. Yeah.
There's your biggie. Now, what's the elderberry good for? That is one of the most natural,
Immunity.
medicinal plants there
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Billy Stiles. Have you ever met Billy? He was a gardener for
I've heard that
organic gardener for organic plant health. He was
Okay.
involved with that business for years. He
Maybe I'm thinking of Billy Strings.
He had a signature hat too.
he had the Aussie hat that he wore everywhere.
Is he deceased now?
What's
the way you're
that?
talking about him. Is he passed away?
No, Billy.
Oh, okay.
He's,
The way
he's
you're
still
talking
out
about
there
him is
doing what
as if he
he's
was.
still out there doing things.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I think you want to think about like a sanctuary, a habitat. I have a photo file called Motel 6. I'm not kidding you. The insects in my sanctuary, always listening to any of that romantic music out there.
well, that's something. I'm glad you
Population.
said music.
Yeah.
Have you ever played music for your plants in your garden?
Oh, out of a speaker? Yeah.
I've heard that that's very beneficial to growing. Makes a
I've
plant
heard it too.
happy.
I've heard it too.
I told my son that in growing some things one time. He looked at me and said, "You're crazy." I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "You can believe it or not, but plants love music, and not necessarily loud,
But to say, let's not play like Kiss, but maybe something.
No.
I hadn't purposely done it, but I have had
no
YouTube
disturb.
music on before. Let me tell you, have y'all heard about like trees actually communicate with each
Oh, yeah.
other?
Trees do communicate.
Well, I have an Asian pear, okay? I would only get one or two pears. So I read about what it needed. Even though it's a self-pollinator, it would do better, okay? So I read what kind to buy. I planted it in January. It was only about this high. The other one was huge. That summer, it was almost like they communicated even before this one even bloomed. They communicated, and that Asian pear was just vastly producing fruit. Yeah.
That's amazing. But yeah,
They warn
Nature-
each other of diseases and funguses and
Share nutrients and water. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And even between species, there was a story about I think it was a cedar and a birch, and the cedar wants full sun, but they put it in the shade. The and then they added some indicator to the sugars, and the birch sent food to the cedar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible. It's amazing. It's amazing.
nature is amazing. Nature is full of life and secrets about healing, growing, medicinal. It's just amazing what all nature has provided us through the plant kingdom. And we've been led astray by corporate America where it doesn't work. Do you realize in 1913 they abolished holistic medicine, basically?
That was like, wasn't that the big oil producer?
Oh yeah, Rockefellers and all. They took
thank
over the
you.
medical industry and,
Yeah.
and all the research.
Destroyed all the
Yep.
medicinal people.
That happened.
I believe it.
And here we are today.
Yeah.
You know, we've been misled, and there's so many naturopathic and holistic medicines that are natural grown in the wild and very therapeutic, very medicinal, but yet we've been led astray because, you know, it doesn't cost anything. They want your money. And the fact of the matter is, through health and, you know, proper dietary knowledge, you can heal yourself. And you can. And I believe in that. I've done it for many, many years, but you talk to people about that and they look at you, well, I'm going to talk to my doctor about that.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about sponsors. When I talk sponsors, you know, we couldn't do this show without support.
That's right.
And this show is the voice of Put Tools in Schools. So any support you give the show, you're giving it to the cause. What's the cause? Eliminate stupid when it comes to home repairs. But we'll get into that in another conversation. Let's talk ABS Insulating. ABS Insulating. Been around a long time in Charlotte, developed by Mr. Alan Hobby. And great company. If you're looking for comfort in your home and you need answers, because as we move into the summer months ahead, when you spend most of your energy dollars in the summertime with air conditioning. If you've got an air conditioning just doesn't seem to want to keep up, keep you cool, keep that comfort where it needs to be. Remember, you're not fighting temperature, you're fighting humidity. Give them a call, absinsulating.com. They'll direct you in various methodologies on what they can do to help you control your comfort, eliminate that big energy bill you get every month, and most of all, extend the life of what you might have. There's various methodologies they can use. And let's don't forget their gutter division. ABS Insulating has a gutter division that will take care of all your gutter needs, regardless of what it might be. New gutters, old gutters, adjusting, maintenance, new downspouts, gutter protection, you name it, they'll take care of it. That's absinsulating.com. And let's don't forget our friends, once again, at Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store, your complete in-home furnishing store, be it audio, video, media of any type, appliances, high-end, low-end, whatever you may need. You're building an apartment project, you need appliances, Queen City Home Store's got you covered. Home furnishings, furniture, bedding, you name it. Queen City Home Store. Various locations throughout North and South Carolina to give you all your home furnishing needs. That's the Queen City Home Store. You can call them on their corporate number, 704-391-6000, or better yet, online, queencityonline.com. And let's don't forget our flooring people, Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte, serving Charlotte metro area, regardless of where you may live, what county you're in, doesn't matter. They'll take care of you. They bring the showroom to you. Yourflooringteam.com. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Regardless of what your flooring needs are, be it stairs, you want new stairs, stair runners, stair treads, whatever the case might be, they got you covered. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte, yourflooringteam.com. Today we've been talking gardening with Kevin Gath and Lorraine Lorraine Carpenter.
Okay.
Walker was her maiden name. I grew up with her,
Walker.
or around her. Our moms played bridge together for many
and
years.
bowled. Yep.
They were in the bridge club. Yep.
They bowled too. Did I hear that?
They
correct?
bowled on the team.
They bowled together.
Yeah.
They did bowl together, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So we've got some history way back. And I do remember you as a little girl.
Do you?
Yep, I do. That was a long time ago. She's not little anymore. She's not a little girl anymore. She growed up, as we all do.
Yeah.
But
Most.
about what?
Most do.
Yeah, most of them do. Yeah, they do. But we've talked a
still
lot
working
about
on it.
gardening today, and I don't know if we've hit all we need to, but if you've got any suggestions or anything, you can text us on the Facebook comment section, or just, I'd love to say you could call in, but not today, because we're getting a dedicated phone line to come in here so we can take calls every week. And you can also see us on YouTube Live every Tuesday morning between 10 and noon. We ran a little behind today. Facebook Live. Downloaded on Spotify, Apple Play, on SoundCloud, all these methods of listening to the show again. It's there. Just Google it, About Your House Radio. It all comes up. Or Google Ray Terry, Charlotte, North Carolina. It's there too. PutToolsInSchools.org. We got an event this week at the Rocky River High School. A great event planned outdoor on Thursday. Thursday morning, we'll show up there around 8 o'clock and we'll leave around noon. If you're interested in showing up for a career day, Rocky River High School out in the Mid-Hill area, look it up. We'd love to see you there. That's Rocky River High School, Put Tools in Schools Career Day. And go online, PutToolsInSchools.org. We certainly could use your help. Every Saturday morning, Toolbox Workshop over in North Charlotte. Love to have you come join us. RSVP, we need to know you're coming. And like I said, today's show, we've been talking gardening with Kevin Gath and Lorraine Carpenter. And let's continue the discussion. What y'all writing down? Taking notes?
Taking notes, taking names, kicking butt.
Take names. And,
I have a, you're talking about gardening with children.
yeah.
During COVID, I had a couple parents call me up and say, I got to get these kids out of the house. Is there anything you can? I said, yeah, I'll teach them how to compost. It was so cute. This little girl, I guess she was probably in the third grade, maybe second, her older brother.
Talk closer to the mic.
Second and third grade, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Brother and sister. So anyway, I was just going through. I said, do y'all recycle? And I'm like, yeah. I said, sort of like that. There's certain things you can put in your compost bin, certain things you can't. For example, you can't use shiny paper. You can use other paper. And I said, does anybody have any idea why? And the little girl said, because the shiny hurts the worm's eyes.
Oh, that was cute. Shiny hurts the worm's eyes.
I love that. They were reading the Wall Street Journal and the eyes got blasted.
That's some neat.
Yeah.
The most beneficial ingredients to dirt, we've talked about it, is worms.
Earthworms, microbes, really.
Is really the most important thing, is it not? Kevin's thinking, oh dear.
Look at that.
I mean, it's just
Nuclear.
semantics at this point. I would say the most important ingredient is probably organic matter, and then the worms will
And
come
that creates more worms.
They will
Because they
come
like
to
the organic
habitate
matter.
that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. The organic matter helps with drain. In clay, it helps with drainage, and in sand, it helps moisture retention. And either way, that helps the worms travel and feed better.
And let's go right back to dirt. We're getting to the end of the show, but I want to cover dirt one more time. All dirt is not created equal. And dirt is not, how do I say that? You need tell them about dirt. Tell them about the way the dirt should be. And the reason I say this, a lot of people go out and buy Miracle Grow. Buy a big bag of Miracle Grow, dump in the pot, and plant your plants in it and say, we're done. That's the dirt. Is that the best dirt to use?
No, and I would say the difference. So I would distinguish dirt from soil in that soil is alive, and dirt is basically just the mineral component.
Innate,
So
yeah.
Dirt is dead, soil is alive.
Yep.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Dirt's dead. Don't want dead dirt.
Got to feed your soil.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what good alive dirt means. Got stuff in it that's alive.
So there are a few principles. It has living roots because it's the plant roots that feed the microbes. It has a diversity of plants because different plants will feed different microbial populations, and so they'll be around. You want to minimize disturbance. You don't want to dig up the soil too often rather. You want to keep the ground covered, armored. That helps keep it shaded and retains the moisture. And ideally, you would integrate animals into that, whether that's just through manure or whether it's like grazing or...
Now, explain that a little more thoroughly. You integrate animals. We're talking dirt, and then you throw that in there.
I know what really
Well, we got
helps.
to integrate the animals.
So it is the animals that turns the plants back into dirt. So the soil grows the plants, the animals eat the plants, and then they return that fertilizer back to the soil. Without that closing the loop, the plants will grow just and oxidize and just brown and waste. If they're eaten, then they are cycled back.
Have we made it too complicated for people? I mean, because of it sounds complicated, but it's very simple.
It is, and honestly, on most people's context, the animals are the soil food web animals.
Are you talking about microbes?
That
And
also
animals?
counts. Yeah, I would
Okay.
think that also counts. So in an
Okay.
acre of healthy soil, the microbes in the top 6 inches has the same amount of mass as the livestock that can be supported on that land. A cow and 5 sheep and 20 chickens.
Okay.
That mass is about the same as the microbes in that acre. And I don't think that's any coincidence. I think it's just a reflection.
Yeah.
Balance.
Yep. So in this context, that soil health principle is integrating animals is focusing on the health of the soil microbes.
Right.
Ray, do you ever thought, like, what is a microbe?
Well, microbes are things that are all in our gut and that create the flora to our intestine lining that really keeps us healthy.
Yep.
Am I right or wrong?
Right. But they all have names, too.
There's thousands, if not millions, of microbes. Am I right? I mean, I don't know.
Bunches. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Would
a
you say
lot.
thousands? I mean,
Hard to say. It's hard
yeah.
to say because they're
I mean,
so small.
They say in a tablespoon of soil there's trillions already.
Of individuals, I don't know about species.
Are you talking about like bacteria and fungi? And, yeah.
Amoeba, protozoa, microarthropods.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is we need all these
Nematodes.
things. We've talked about in this show how we become too sanitary, too germ-free, too germaphobes. We've turned into that as a culture, and we need to let it go some and get back to nature, truly get back to nature. Because nature has provided, and if you've not learned anything in the last 2 hours on this show, it's all natural. It's all here for us. All we need to do is learn how to use it. You don't need to go to the box stores or nurseries and all this. You just need to become aware of what's beneficial right in your own yard because you already have it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So now, real quick, we got about 2 minutes and a little over 2 minutes. What do you want to plant right now? What vegetables are good to plant right now? Got a list?
I'm about to put in my summer squashes by seed. Yep.
How about you, Lorraine?
I'll probably start throwing some radishes in. I'm a little late on that.
What about green beans? Any of that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Green
going to
beans,
plant
peas,
bush
sweet-
beans where I had some cucumbers because that'll put nitrogen back into the soil.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But tomatoes, you definitely want to get them out now.
Oh, yeah. I've already got mine
It's
out.
tomato time. You plant tomatoes yet?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And community gardens, folks, if you can get a group of people together to develop and plant and nurture, look at all that love you spread. Man, it's amazing to get a group of people plant a garden. And we were alluding to the fact of not getting people are too busy. Well, see if you can't get enough people together to grow a community garden. It's very therapeutic, very beneficial, not to mention the nutritional side of it and the health benefits to it.
I'd say if you think you're too busy to participate in that garden, it's even more important that you do because you've lost your sense of stability.
If you don't have time to do an hour, then do 2 hours.
Right. 100%. Amen.
Next Saturday, we're going to be talking to Mark Sprinkle. 2 weeks
Mark.
ago, I sat down because I got about a minute left. I sat down and said, "Who could I get on the show that's old as I am that we can talk handyman?" We're going to talk handyman week next week. That's Mark Sprinkle. I've known Mark for many, many, many years. Matter of fact, I hadn't talked to him for probably 20, maybe longer, 10, 15 at least. And I called him the other day. He says, "What do I owe this?" And I said, "Well, I want you on the show with me." He says, "What on earth for?" And I told him, I said, "We're going to talk handyman and how stupid has become a serious disease." He said, "I'm in." So it didn't take him long to get talked into it for sure.
Love it.
So go make it a great week. Thanks to both of y'all. I certainly appreciate you.
Thank you, Ray, for
Let's-
inviting us.
Let's do it again sometime, talk gardening and
Love it.
educate. So tune in every week right here on About Your House. Next week, Handyman Hacks. So we'll